this guy wanted, or this guy claimed nobody went and responded to his call out at about 4 minutes 20 seconds top mid in the previous game that we did. So I'm going in Twitch. I offered, let's go and watch it because I would like to see. It was as a response to my criticism, which was that we were making a lot of redundant callouts, unnecessary callouts. So firstly, my response isn't being addressed. So we're just addressing his, or my claim isn't being addressed. We're just addressing his claim. So he said it at about 4 minutes and 20 seconds, something like that. He was like, there's people top mid and nobody looked to help. So, more from his perspective, right? It's about 3 minutes right now, so we'll see what specifically happened here to where, right? I'm gonna be trying to pay attention to like top mid. I can't hear his comments, but judging from his gameplay, I'm gonna try to. We're on him right now. So there he died. He might be calling out top mid. Let me turn on player outlines actually. He might be calling out top mid here. It's about 409. I don't know. Let's see. Here me and Roman are challenging this guy on the ramp. Looks like he backed up. Oh, actually, I think I killed this guy for the flag. Because there is one of them right there, yeah. And I was putting shots in him, I believe. Oh no, Sin died. That's what happened. Okay, and then yeah, here I am putting shots in the guy. I killed a flag carrier right there, right? So that must have not been the top mid call out. So let's pay attention, right? It's about 4 minutes, 20 seconds. OS is top mid. Here, player outlines on. Right, he killed that guy. He might be calling out OS top mid right now, right? Let's see. What are we doing? Our team. I'm going to our team. Here's me, right? Going for OS. Look at that. This is about 4 minutes, 30 seconds. So, right now, as far as I can tell, I don't see that 4 minute, 30 second mark play. But here I am getting quadruple teamed because there was one that went behind their base somewhere, right? This is what happened. There was one going behind their base, which is why I went this way. Oh no, that's the guy that died right there. Right there, yeah. No, that guy, there he is. He's being called out. So I'm like, alright, I see him. I'm gonna go after him. And then I hear a redundant call out from a guy being like, we don't all have to dive after one guy. Where is the guy? This guy. He's dead, so there's no reason why you should be talking shit to begin with, but I mean, that's besides the point. So alright, I'm like, alright, Roman is over here, they're going after him, right? But they didn't, because this guy, since that is said, we don't all have to dive after that guy, so I guess me and Roman both had the same idea of like, oh, we're all diving after him, let's switch up and do something else. And because of that redundant call out, this guy gets away. And then I think he actually manages to kill one of us, right? Yeah, he kills Grunt right there. And then I remember Grunt saying, there's a guy back our flag. Yeah. Sin is atrocious at this game. And I really hope that Grunt realizes that and just like either talks to him about it or just ditches him. Because this guy is going to keep Grunt from improving as a player. And Grunt's a good player, I could tell. Alright, well... I'm still trying to... This might be where he's calling out that there's people top mid, right? Let's see, he's dead. There's only one of us alive, so at this point, we couldn't really do anything. I'm still looking for that top mid play. I still don't know specifically like, where... Maybe it's here, right? Maybe he's like his top mid, thinking attic. Yeah, it's been over a minute straight of going over that. He specifically gave 4 minutes 20 second mark. I guess maybe he might have been mistaken in that. So let's try to fast forward it a little bit, see if there's any moment in time where top mid the enemies are there and he's fighting them, and there's no one else helping, right? Let's see here. I'm just gonna do this for clarification, because that was you know, I asked, is there my initial claim, which is still unaddressed, was that there was a lot of redundant call-outs going on, which, as we've already discovered with this film, that specific situation was a redundant call-out, and it was also reverse progress type. Like, it was worse to have made that call-out than to have stayed silent. So now that we've established the fact that that happened already, so it's not just a hypothesis, it's a guaranteed fact, we're going over and seeing the response to that fact, instead of actually addressing the fact, was that I felt like a lot of callouts weren't being responded to. And this might be where he's saying top mid, but as you can see, there's already nays and people looking top mid, so that could be it, right? The response was that there was no one responding to callouts. But I don't, you know, I still haven't seen. And I asked, okay, what specific, can you name one example of that happening? And he said, I have tons, right? And then I asked, alright, can you name one? And this is the one that he named. He said, top mid, I remember calling top mid and no one helping. So, there were two people here challenging top mid, they both got backed off. And then, I'm looking this way, I'm pretty sure that's me. Yeah, because the last guy's dead. So yeah, that's me. I'm challenging this guy right there. You see on the snipe on the ridge. As you can see, shots are going across. So this might be where he said there's no one challenging top mid, even though, you know, I have a target, he had a target, the third guy is dead, and Sin was also helping him challenge this top mid. It was a 2v2 scenario right here, and then they just happened to lose this 2v2 scenario. I don't see an example of the callout not being responded to, right? They have OS, so, you know, that's why they lost the 2v2 scenario. Plus, of course, you know, getting spotted by nades and being backed down. Let's see. Right here. He's being spotted. And then that guy across got him. I was trying to put shots in him to prevent that from happening, but unfortunately it still happened because cross-map shots are not that great with the bandit. They're still effective sometimes, but I mean, in that particular scenario, it definitely would have been a little bit more helpful if I was like maybe like flag area. Although I was already there, and this was really like, you know, only like a few seconds to respond type scenario right here. As you can see, you know, I think I die on snipe here, right? Yeah, there I die. And then here already OS is here, and I just spawn in right there, boom. Which is why I'm there. So there's really not much I could have done in this scenario, right? If maybe, let's see what would happen if we go to my perspective, right? Floating cam. They're here. I'm here. They're calling out top mid, top mid. I'm like, in my mind, I see 3 people right here in the pit. So I maybe could peek this way a little bit, right? This guy dies. I could have gotten a shot off there. But, you know, our snipe is up, and I have no idea if they're already at our snipe or not. So that's actually what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to keep an eye to see if our flank is being covered, because we do need information in the game, actually. We can't just have micro information and then just kind of hope that after killing these two, there's not a guy R flag. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could have kept pushing forward and then realized it either when he got the flag or when we started getting shot in the back. But, you know, that lack of information is what loses games. So I actually am glad at my play here, keeping an eye on our flank, which in fact I do see someone, although I probably should have done it from like down here, because then I would have been able to get a shot on the guy that killed Grund. So I see 2. So So now I'm keeping track. You see what I'm saying? And I get the guy 1. And I actually get him down. Oh, I remember specifically that's when someone was saying top mid and then, you know, top mid one shot. And as you can see, I got a cross map kill that was one shot. And that's why I responded, I see. Okay, so this is the scenario that he's talking about. I guess he was just upset that I didn't clean up his one shot despite getting the cross map kill on the sniper guy, which is arguably a much more important kill. And then I also, on top of that, cleaned up the flag guy afterwards. So I guess there you have it, folks. That is the scenario that they brought up in response to my claim, which was that there were redundant callouts, which has been proven, and that there was one top mid not response callout has already been accounted for. And on top of that, now I'm here challenging the guy Hut, you know, backing him up in the attic. So I mean, that's really the only. Maybe there's another scenario, although that was really kind of like the solid clarification, right? Was because I specifically remember him like sounding disappointed that I didn't clean up his one shot. Okay, now that we've cleared all that up, Sin is horrible at this game and will keep Grund from improving. And Grund, you gotta stop being butt buddies with Sin if you want to get better at the game, dog. Like, I'm just sorry. The disrespect that that guy showed just in the middle of a game is nowhere near the world of pro gaming or amateur gaming or in any way competitive spirit, which allows people to improve. Or even as like a hobby, right? Even if you're trying to play this game for fun, that's just not fun to be around. So it's just maybe it's like a self-punishment. I don't know why. Maybe they're like buddies from an earlier something. I don't try to presume to know. All I know is that he was being disrespectful and he's keeping you from improving as a player. That's all I'll say. Alright? I guess enjoy.